You're at the Pyxis, you're pulling your meds, call lights are going off, there's patients, family members at the front desk, you're getting pulled in all directions. You are trying to remember how to mix the med that you've only read about in nursing school. You made it through nursing school, you passed the NCLEX, you got your first job, and you are now realizing that your first year on the floor is like you're getting thrown into the deep end of a pool. I remember driving home and saying, oh my God, am I made to be a nurse? Can I handle this? Like, stress, the pressure, the fear of making a mistake, it could drive you crazy. It could eat you alive, and that's why we're here today. We're skipping the textbook advice, and I'm giving you some real shift advice. You figured out already that there's a huge difference from nursing school scenarios where they are controlled and the floor, the live version. Everything happens at once. Everything happens at once. The emotional and the physical exhaustion is so intense sometimes. That is the number one reason that nurses feel like they are constantly drowning. Set small, realistic goals. It could be you are going to start a certain amount of IVs that day instead of letting the paramedic do it. Or you're going to chart in the room or outside the room before you go back to the nurse's station. If you start doing little goals like this, it's going to build your confidence instead of feeling defeated. Remember, just because you have a bad shift does not make you a bad nurse, okay? This is all a learning process. Find your people, not just your preceptor or your manager. Yes, they are important, but you need to start building your tribe. On your unit, you want to get to know everybody by name. You need to start building your community. You need to start finding those that you're going to kiki with it, you know, at the break, in the break room or the nurse's station, that person that you can vent to, that person that's going to give you some advice, the person that has the hookup with the coffee, because you guys are all going to be working as a team. You're going to need one another. Building these relationships is absolutely critical to surviving in this career. Building trust within your colleagues, building a community. Get to know who is the Foley queen, the IV queen. They're the ones that are going to be by your side when there's an emergency. These are the ones that you can talk to that understand what's going on. When you go home and you talk to your friends and family that are not in healthcare, they don't understand. Don't underestimate the power of support. Master the hard stop ritual. And I'm going to explain what that is. You can't be home trying to rest and unwind, but yet thinking about your whole day. Worrying about your patients, worrying about your charting. In order to stop this, you have to do what's called a hard stop ritual. As soon as I clock out, I go to my car, FaceTime with my husband. I get in the car, we're either chatting or I will turn on a podcast, something funny, something that has nothing to do with nursing to unwind. Sometimes I may scream in the car. Sometimes I may take some deep breaths. Usually something to help like switch gears. I get home, the first thing I do is take a shower. I take off my scrubs and it's like de-shedding, and I cleanse myself away, cleanse everything away from that day. Find out what works for you. You can come home, you can start writing your journal, you can watch a funny movie. Create a habit that helps you decompress from your day. And setting a boundary between work-life balance is essential. I also place my phone on do not disturb. The key is to be consistent, and it's essential for long-term survival. Learn to say, I'm not sure. As a new nurse, again, you're going to have that pressure where you feel like you need to know everything. It's okay not to know everything. You're going to also hear a saying, a new nurse that asks no questions is a scary nurse. So we are expecting you to ask questions. Asking questions is a sign of being a smart nurse, a safe nurse, a confident nurse. It's not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength. It's always better to ask than just guess, and then you're going to make a mistake and potentially injure a patient. So what I used to do is I would write down my questions. If I could not find the answer right away, I would ask someone who I felt knew the answer. That way you don't feel like you're bothering your coworkers like constantly. Embrace being a beginner and see every chance as a chance to learn. This is my favorite. This is the one that I practice the most, and I ain't ashamed of it. Practice self-care. Make time for self-care. We as nurses, we teach, take care of yourself, exercise, eat healthy, relax, but yet we're not doing it. It's actually professional duty, okay? Is that you cannot give good care if you're not taking care of yourself. It's actually sleeping, taking time to sleep, working out, packing your healthy lunch, not eating the cold pizza in the break room. When you start getting grumpy, and this happens to me too, when you start getting cranky and grumpy, that's when you need to focus on your self-care. Know your limits and know that self-care is probably the most important thing you could do to be a happy nurse. Look, your first year is going to show you your limits. It's going to stretch your patience. It's going to show you things that you did not think you would ever be able to handle. Also going to show you how strong and capable you are. You can do this. Remember, let go of your perfection. Find your tribe, build boundaries to protect your peace, never be afraid to ask for help, and make your well-being a number one priority. Burnout does not have to be your story. With the right mindset and support, you could do more than just survive your first year. You can thrive. You've already made it this far, and you have all the resources to make your career a long, happy, fulfilling career. So be kind to yourself. Celebrate your progress and never stop learning. OG nurses, what is the one survival tip that you did that helped you survive your first year of nursing? For the newbies, what is the biggest thing that you're struggling with right now? Drop your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's build a community of support and help each other out. We're all in this together. And remember, treat people how you want to be treated, because what you put into this world is what you're going to get out of it. Have a great shift.